I have friends. I have a good amount of casual friends in the sense that, we may not see each other much, but we'll send each other videos and talk every so often. And then I have some friends where we'll meet up once a month or, twice a month and do something. But why do I still feel lonely? It's such a weird feeling because when I'm sitting by myself, I feel this crushing loneliness that I don't have anyone to rely on, or I feel like I don't have that many friends. But why is that? I know I have people I can talk to. I know I have friends. I have a few close friends, but it doesn't feel like that. So it got me to thinking, you know, I have a lot of these friends that we live a good amount away from each other, and so we mostly talk online. And I have a really bad habit of not answering texts. I I get in these funks, I guess you can call it, where I just kind of isolate myself when I get busy and I don't answer anyone because it takes a lot of energy to answer something. I'm worried about saying the wrong thing or whatever it may be. And so I end up avoiding it, which isn't good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a good thing. But I feel like because I have these mostly online relationships with people I've known in person, it makes it feel almost artificial. Now, I'm not comparing them to AI or anything, but I just mean in the sense where we're missing that in person experience. And that's bound to take a toll. I know personally I'm a, how do I phrase it, like an in person. I know it sounds weird, but I prefer to be in person. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But what I mean is that if I have to choose between being on a Discord call with my friends and playing couch co-op, I'd much prefer couch co-op, which is a bit weird because I'm usually by myself. I don't go out to parties and I live a almost a hermit lifestyle if you want to call it that. But I mean in the sense where I like to stay home rather than going out. So I feel like being connected only online isn't a good thing. Now, I know a lot of people who it works for, and I feel like majority of people it does. But I want to make this video because I haven't really heard of it been be talked about before. But it's the feeling that online relationships just aren't fulfilling. They just can't fill the void of having someone to talk to because you're typing everything out. You're talking through a phone screen. There's just something so artificial about it that I can't get over. And my next idea is being connected 24/7 isn't how we were meant to socialize. And I know personally I can sit down and talk to someone on the phone. I prefer that over texting personally. I'm much more of a caller because we call and then afterwards do our separate things. I don't like to sit down after a day of work, decide to play a video game, and be off and on my phone answering texts. I'm not in that social mood, you know? And I feel like there's kind of an idea that if you're on your phone, you need to respond. I've had two potential relationships not work out specifically because of that issue, where I wasn't responding enough to their text, which I think is a valid response. But that's just not me, and I can't change who I am for a relationship. And that's how I figured out that online relationships aren't for me. Not only romantic relationships, but also friendships. I have a hard time keeping contact with people online, which sucks because there's a lot of great friends I have, or I have, whatever it may be. And we just kind of grew apart because mostly of me not responding. And that sucks. But there's nothing I can do about that. Now, I don't know what the solution to this is. I feel like if you guys are in a similar situation, I could say something like respond more, respond quicker. But you know as well as I do, that's not going to work. Because you can try to do that. Like, there'll be about once a week where I'll sit down and I'll respond to all my messages from everyone. And then a lot of times I'll just leave it for another week after that time. And so I don't feel like responding more is a good solution because it's just not going to work. And I wish I had some sort of solution because I try to end these videos with optimism where I'll be like, this is an issue that I'm facing or we are facing, and here's a solution that I think would work. But for this, I was trying to think of a solution and I don't know. I don't know if the solution is to find people that are accepting of that or understand that. And the issue with that, tying back into relationships, I don't want someone to be burdened by my issue. Now, I have multiple issues, but this one specifically, I don't, because I was going to say something like, them texting you, even if you don't respond. But I don't want someone to feel the pressure to have to text me all the time when I'm not responding, because I don't think that's very realistic, and I also don't think that's very fair for them. And that's where I struggle, is I feel like a lot of times I can't get into a relationship, whether it be friendship or romantic, just because I have these issues that I can't succumb to the way we communicate nowadays. And it sucks because we have such a lack of third places. Third places are okay, let me give you an explanation just in case you don't know. There's the first place is your work, second place is your home, and third place is like somewhere where you can gather and just chill or something, have fun with friends. And nowadays there's almost none of those. I live in a small town and it sucks so bad for that. Like, we have restaurants and that's where I've went on dates. And that's about it. You can go walking around, I guess, but there's nowhere to really go and meet people. And I feel like this is a topic for another video, but it's the way society's constructed now. It's so hard to meet people in person. And if you can't connect online, then what now? And that's the issue I'm facing. So I wanted to make this video to try to find other people who relate to this. And if you do relate, I'm glad to hear that, because I made this video because I couldn't find anything out there. So I hope that this helps confirm that you are not alone. There are other people that feel the same way. But I also wanted to put this out there to try to find a solution, because I haven't found one. I am stumbling through it, kind of trial and error sort of thing going on here. And I mean, that's really all you can do in life. But I haven't found a solution yet. I'll make sure to make another video when I do. But until then, I guess we're just going to have to try to figure this out. Whether that be in our own lives or together. That's for the future to decide. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I think I kind of discussed the majority of things I wanted to go over. It's kind of a weird subject because it isn't a well-researched or well-known one. But if you guys have any insight or any comments, make sure to tell me, because I love hearing from you guys. Thanks for the recent subscribers, and if you do want, you can subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 there. So that'd be pretty cool. But I'll wrap it up here and leave you guys to whatever you're going to be doing today. All right. So take care of yourselves. Bye bye.